Hi everyone, very good morning and welcome back to Grade B. So today we are again discussing the UPSC EPFO previous year questions with a focus on two schemes. In our last lecture, you must have seen that we have discussed the questions that were asked in the examination of the 2021 and the 2017 cycle. Fine. Today I have picked few of the schemes related questions, and believe me, out of total only this much scheme related questions have been asked. Apart from that, there are many questions that are related to the current happenings. Some questions are related to the current happenings, some questions are related to the static concept as well, but my focus was only on to the schemes. That is why I have just picked up the schemes related questions to discuss with you guys that how you can focus on to such questions. And believe me, while we will discuss these questions, I have told you repeatedly that even if you want, you can read the schemes. Obviously, it is going to help you in most of the cases. Having a good read always helps. But at the same time, even if you have maintained a bare idea about the scheme, then also it is going to help you. Fine. So with that particular intention, now let's see the first question that we have with us. First question is, what is Know India program? Know India, Know Your India, this is the program. What is the intention of this particular program? Now for this I have got four options. Number one option they have given me, this is the program for children aged 12 to 15 years from rural areas to make them aware about the different aspects of India. Fine. Next is program that facilitates visits of rural teachers to different parts of the country. Okay, an outreach program of the Ministry of External Affairs to build closer ties with the India's neighborhood. And next is a program for the diaspora youth to promote awareness among them about the different aspects of India. Now, can you please tell me that which one of the correct answer? Which one of the following is the correct answer as per you guys? Know Your India program. Have you seen this particular program when we were discussing our ministry related schemes? Answers please. Okay. Option A. Okay, interesting. What about else? So the option A is unfortunately not the correct answer. This is not a program for the children between 12 to 15. No. See, in this particular question, I might get confused between the two options that I have. Now, this is also not for the visits of rural teachers. No, both of these options are wrong. Now, the point here, it is between two things. An outreach program of Ministry of External Affairs to build closer ties with India's neighborhood, number one. And number two is, it is the program for the diaspora youth. So if you would have read the schemes, because in the schemes related document we must have discussed it, this is the correct answer, option number D. This, we are not running the India's neighborhood. See, the program name is Know Your India. By Know India, Know Your India, I guess I might have misspelled it. Here your comes, your should come. Know Your India program. Fine. So, Know Your India means obviously we will not call the neighborhood countries that this is your India. No. We are calling for the people who are Indian by the roots. We want we want them to know about the India. That is why even if you are not aware about this question, you might know, because you might get confused between option A and option D. But that is what I am telling, that in UPSC EPFO you just have to have a broad understanding of the schemes. Even in-depth is also not required. But short forms may in-depth is required. You have to remember the short forms. Now next question. Next question is special economic zones. They are developed too. Now I can ask one more question over here, although this is a previous year question, but I can ask that by virtue of which act SEZ are established in India? Can you answer that? By virtue of which act SEZ are established in India? So whatever question you are studying, see, this is always the practice of UPSC, that suppose if they have given something in option, they can ask it in the next year, right? Suppose in the option they have mentioned any particular scheme. So it might happen that next year they might bring up out of something that particular scheme. So you see, there is an act in the 2005 for the establishment of SEZ. So whenever we are talking about it, yes, SEZ Act 2005 is the act through which SEZ are established. Now what is the purpose of these SEZ? Generate additional economic activity throughout the year. Next is beautify suburban areas, upgrade the facilities in the countryside, as well as promote the investments for domestic and foreign sources. Now out of these four, even if you have the slightest of idea, the correct answer is just in front of you. It is promoting the investments from domestic and foreign sources. What is SEZ? So in our Indian territory, we mark a area separately. Fine. We mark that area separately and we say that this area will be considered as a foreign area or a foreign territory for all practical purposes. Why we are doing so? Because there are so many rules and regulations which are applicable in India that makes the process of import and export a little bit complicated, or I'll say tough. So that is why in order to promote such flawless imports and exports, government says that please go into SEZ, please establish your units into the SEZ. You will be easily importing and outward exports will already be done. Now one more point over here, government is not very keen on increasing the imports, but yes, government is very keen on increasing the exports, and that is why the SEZ are helpful for us. Now next thing is, which of the following is one of the Millennium Development Goals fixed by the United Nations? Now, before discussing this question, as I have said that we should always derive the inspiration from the previous year questions, although these questions are belonging to the time of 2015, right? So that is why these questions were relevant at that particular time. Now with this, what should we derive it? So I'll tell you few things that you can prepare onto it. United Nations related targets, they are important. Like Millennium Development Goals. Millennium Development Goals was for 15-year period and this ended in 2015. There are generic goals with related to land, people, quality of life, etc., etc. Fine. In the similar fashion, now from the 2016 to 2030, in this time period, we have SDGs called as Sustainable Development Goals for this particular time period. There are 17 goals into it, and please, yes, correct answer is A, that is fine, but I'm just telling you, please also have an idea about the Sustainable Development Goals. See, sometimes in the examination situation, it becomes very difficult for us to guess any answer, right? Right now we are into the, what you can say, easy location and we do not have any stress onto us. That is why we are able to decide the correct answer. But sometimes if we are in the examination pressure, then even if we know the answer, we might get the question wrong. So that is why please have a look onto the SDG goals. And apart from that, years like 2023, this has been declared as the year of millets. So such kind of declarations please have an idea about, because they can be an easy MCQ targets by the UPSC. Now over here, just look at it. Even if one has not understood the your millennial development goals, you can see develop a new variety of food grain which can ensure bumper crops. No, agriculture related things, they come into the area of FAO, your Food and Agriculture Organization. It does not comes over here. Ensure that population does not increase in the least developed countries. You cannot. This is totally a wrong thing. This is not in your purview. This comes into the purview of national government. Next is developing procedures towards adequate and forewarning of hurricanes and tsunami. For this we have World Meteorological Organization already. We have an organization called as WMO, World Meteorological Organization. That organization is concerned with all this. So with easy deduction, even if I did not knew the answer, I know now that having the extreme poverty and halting the spread of HIV and AIDS, this was the one of the goals. So what are our key takeaways from this question? I have already told you that while I am discussing the schemes related question, my intention is just not just to discuss the questions, but at the same time give you a strategy for the forward, that what you can do going forward, on what lines you should prepare for UPSC EPFO. So by looking at such kind of questions, I can give you that whatever UN related targets are there, I'm not saying that you should learn all the targets, no, some targets which are year wise concern to you, right? Like the targets India has taken, correct, right? Okay, by 2030 we are going to achieve such kind of renewable energy capacity. That is important. Why the year 2023 is important in the eyes of UN, that is important. Apart from that, please have a look on the SDGs, that is also important. Next question. Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, it provides education to every child in the age group. Fine. So with this particular question, this is an easy question and we all know the answer. Super easy question, right? 6 to 14 years of age, they have got the right to free and compulsory education. But there are some static points also with this particular question. So when you are preparing this right now, it is a static question, right? This we have discussed in the Ministry of Education related scheme document in the end when we discuss the relevant acts, right? Where we have that at that particular time we have already discussed it. But what are the other questions that you should be knowing from this regard? So this is the form, this comes under your polity, right? So first thing you should know whether this comes under fundamental right or this comes under DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. Next thing, through which constitutional amendment right to education was introduced, right? Question number, this can be question 1, this can be question 2. Third question, they can also ask you, this is also a guide that how you should prepare your polity. So in question number 3, they can also ask you that under which particular fundamental right you have included this, whether this is included under Article 14 or it is included under Article 21 or included under Article 20, what you can say, 29. What is the correct article? Fine. So such kind of questions can also be formulated by the help of this. Next is Consider the following programs. Now what are the following programs? See over here. Number one is credit linked subsidy scheme. Okay. Microfinance program, national manufacturing competitiveness program, cluster development program. They have given 4 schemes to us together. Okay. And next thing they are asking us. Now I consider that this is an easy question. What is the common in above program? What is common? So are they related to agriculture or related to MSMEs or related to large scale industries or for the traditional cottage industries? What are traditional cottage industries? Which are started from your home, on the back, in the backyard of your home. So such kind of industries which are home based. So can you tell me the right answer for this question? Question number 5. Can you tell me the right answer for this? Anyone? Just look at the option. Which sector we are providing microfinance, cluster development, national manufacturing, credit link deposit scheme? See, I'll tell you. So, in this is a little bit tricky. Like I can say that yes, microfinance and large scale industries, they do not go together. So, I can cut it down. But whereas the other options are concerned, now I cannot deduce it. I cannot make out that which one is the correct option. So for such kind of questions, having knowledge or having broad knowledge is required, and that is why cluster development, this is a scheme by Ministry of MSME. Even if you know that okay, this is the scheme of Ministry of MSME, you will be able to know that they are related to the MSME. We have seen that the credit linked capital subsidy schemes, they have also been provided to the MSME units. Microfinance programs have also been provided. Fine. So such kind of things are there for the MSME units, and all these schemes are related to MSMEs. Next is, now the same thing that I am repeating again and again. Do you think that you need a detailed information about these schemes? No. Just a fair idea will do. Next is, consider the following statements about PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. Fine. In this question, there are 4 options given to me. Applicable to all adults above 18 years. Okay. Premium is deducted from the bank account of holder through auto debit facility. Great. The life insurance worth is decided by the account holder and has to pay premium accordingly. And next is, the life insurance is given to the family after the death of the subscriber. Which of the following is correct? So, in this particular question, there are just 2 statements which are correct. Fine. So, applicable to all adults. First, you see the applicability. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, this is covering all those individuals who are having their bank accounts, right? And they are having the age of, they are having the cover of 2 lakh rupees. In case they die, then 2 lakh rupees cover is there. Now, this particular question pertains to 2015. So whenever we are discussing any question, just look at the background of the question as well. In 2015, all people were not having bank accounts, right? Jan Dhan Yojana baad mein aayi hai. So at that particular time, bank account was not there with everyone, and that is why whenever UPSC uses such kind of words, all, everyone, inclusive, etc., etc., they are called as the trigger words. Trigger words means you should be very cautious selecting these words. So obviously first one is not the correct. Yes, the scheme is applicable for the people who are having the age of above 18 years, but there is also a requirement of having bank account. But that is why I cannot say that each and every person who is above the 18 years, onto him this particular scheme is applicable. No. Next is, this statement looks fine to me, that yes, life insurance will be given after the death of the subscriber. Yes. And next thing is, this is also right. Premium is going to be deducted through the auto debit facility. So by looking at both of these, the correct option is 2 and 4. Okay. So with that, we have covered the schemes related questions also. Those have been asked in 2021, 2017, 2015. By looking at these particular series, I have tried to shorten up the videos so that you can watch it with interest and this should not become boredom for you, right? So please watch the different videos. Try to make a strategy for yourself that how you are going to cover the schemes, and read the schemes wisely on the lines of these questions. So this is it. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that you must have understood the topic that I wanted to discuss, and this is all I wanted to discuss in today's video. And do not forget to like this video.